She cursed Moses' wife for her dark skin, but little did she know, her words would bring a divine curse upon herself. Discover the astonishing story of Miriam, Aaron, and Moses, and see how prejudice led to a shocking punishment from God. What happens when a prophet of God succumbs to racism? This tale reveals the consequences of prejudice and how even those closest to God's chosen leader faced divine intervention and retribution. Uncover the dramatic events that reaffirmed Moses' unique role and the powerful lessons that still resonate today. Moses, Aaron, and Miriam were not just siblings, they were pivotal figures in the journey of the Israelites. Moses, chosen by God to lead his people out of Egypt, had married a Cushite woman. The Cushites, originating from the region we now know as Ethiopia, were descendants of Cush, the son of Ham and grandson of Noah. According to Genesis 10 verses 6 to 7, the sons of Ham were Cush, Egypt, Put, and Canaan. The sons of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Rama, and Septika. The lineage of Cush represents a significant part of Noah's descendants, spreading throughout Africa and parts of the Middle East. This marriage stirred controversy among his own family. The Cushites had darker skin, which became the focal point of Aaron and Miriam's criticism. This story takes place during a time when ethnic differences often led to discrimination, even among God's chosen people. Aaron and Miriam's disapproval was not just about Moses' marriage, but also about deeper issues of jealousy and prejudice. To understand the gravity of their criticism, it's essential to grasp the background of Ham and the curse associated with his son Canaan. In Genesis 9 verse 25, Noah cursed Canaan after Ham saw his father's nakedness and told his brothers, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be to his brothers." This curse and its implications played a role in the prejudices held by many, including Aaron and Miriam. Aaron and Miriam, despite their close relationship with Moses, found themselves questioning his decision. Their criticism was twofold. They disapproved of his marriage to a black woman and questioned his exclusive communication with God. In Numbers 12:1-2, we read, "Miriam and Aaron began to talk against Moses because of his Cushite wife, for he had married a Cushite. 'Has the Lord spoken only through Moses?' they asked. 'Hasn't he also spoken through us?' Their challenge sought to undermine Moses' unique prophetic role. It was more than just familial discord. It reflected deeper issues of envy and prejudice. Aaron and Miriam, both significant figures in the Israelite community, felt slighted by Moses' unique relationship with God. This resentment festered, leading them to focus on Moses' marriage as a point of contention. Aaron and Miriam's challenge was rooted in a mixture of personal and cultural biases. They questioned why Moses, their brother, would marry someone from a different ethnic background, and why God would choose to speak through him alone. Their questions and criticisms were laced with a sense of entitlement and envy, reflecting a deeper struggle for power and recognition within the community. God heard their complaints and decided to address the issue directly. He summoned Moses, Aaron, and Miriam to the tent of meeting, a place of divine encounters and revelations. Imagine the tension as they stood before God, their hearts pounding, unsure of what was to come. God descended in a pillar of cloud and stood at the entrance, calling Aaron and Miriam forward. The air was thick with anticipation and fear. God's voice, filled with authority and righteous anger, resounded. "When there is a prophet among you, I, the Lord, reveal myself to them in visions. I speak to them in dreams. But this is not true of my servant Moses. He is faithful in all my house. With him, I speak face to face, clearly and not in riddles. He sees the form of the Lord. Why then were you not afraid to speak against my servant Moses? Numbers 12:6-8. The divine encounter was a dramatic and terrifying moment for Aaron and Miriam. God's direct intervention underscored the seriousness of their actions. It was a powerful reminder that questioning God's chosen leader was not just a personal affront but a challenge to God's authority. The weight of God's words and the presence of the divine cloud created an atmosphere of awe and reverence, leaving no room for doubt about the gravity of their sin. As God's words sank in, the gravity of their actions became clear. Suddenly, Miriam was struck with leprosy. Her skin turned white as snow, a stark and terrifying punishment. Numbers 12:10 states, "When the cloud lifted from above the tent, Miriam's skin was leprous. It became as white as snow." The symbolism was undeniable. Her racist criticism had led to a visible mark of disgrace. Leprosy, a disease that isolated and shamed its victims, now afflicted Miriam, reflecting her own internal corruption. The sudden affliction was both a physical and spiritual manifestation of the consequences of prejudice. Leprosy in ancient times was not just a disease, but a mark of divine displeasure. Miriam's condition symbolized her internal failings being laid bare for all to see. The transformation of Miriam's skin to leprous white was a dramatic and horrifying visual representation of her sin. Her criticism of Moses' marriage to a Cushite woman, a reflection of her prejudice, was now mirrored in her own body. The irony of her skin turning white as snow, while she had criticized someone of darker skin, was a divine rebuke of her racist attitude. The punishment was immediate and severe, leaving no doubt about God's stance on the matter. Aaron, seeing the immediate and severe consequence of their actions, was filled with remorse. He turned to Moses, pleading, "Please, my Lord, I ask you not to hold against us the sin we have so foolishly committed. Do not let her be like a stillborn infant coming from its mother's womb with its flesh half eaten away." Numbers 12:11-12. The desperation in his voice mirrored the severity of the situation. Moses, ever compassionate and humble, cried out to God, "Please, God, heal her." Numbers 12:13. Aaron's plea highlighted the gravity of their sin and the urgent need for mercy. It was a moment of profound humility and recognition of their wrongdoing. Aaron's desperate appeal to Moses underscored the severity of Miriam's condition and the urgency of their need for divine intervention. The imagery of a stillborn infant, with its flesh half eaten away, was a stark and painful comparison, reflecting the depth of their remorse and the seriousness of their sin. Moses' response was immediate and heartfelt. Despite the personal attack on him and his wife, he remained compassionate and interceded for his sister. His prayer to God, "Please, God, heal her," was a simple yet powerful plea for mercy. It demonstrated Moses' humility and his unwavering love for his family, even in the face of their betrayal. God, while merciful, still required consequences for actions. He decreed that Miriam be quarantined outside the camp for 7 days. Numbers 12:14-15 recounts, "The Lord replied to Moses, if her father had spit in her face, would she not have been in disgrace for 7 days? Confine her outside the camp for 7 days. After that, she can be brought back." So Miriam was confined outside the camp for 7 days, and the people did not move on till she was brought back. This period of isolation was both a physical and spiritual cleansing. The Israelites, despite their need to move forward, waited for Miriam's return, signifying the importance of community and forgiveness. After 7 days, Miriam was healed, her skin restored, but the lessons remained etched in the hearts of the people. This event served as a powerful reminder of God's justice and mercy, the importance of humility, and the destructive power of prejudice. Miriam's quarantine was a time of reflection and repentance. Being separated from the community, she would have had time to contemplate her actions and their consequences. The isolation was a symbolic act of purification, necessary for her reintegration into the community. It also served as a visible reminder to the Israelites of the seriousness of her sin and the importance of upholding God's commandments. The healing of Miriam marked a moment of grace and restoration. Her return to the camp signified not just the physical healing of her body, but also the restoration of relationships and community harmony. The Israelites' willingness to wait for her recovery highlighted the importance of unity and forgiveness within the community. Miriam's experience became a lasting testament to God's justice, mercy, and the need for humility and respect among His people. The story of Aaron, Miriam, and Moses is not just an ancient narrative, but a timeless lesson on the dangers of prejudice and the importance of humility. It serves as a reminder that even those closest to God can fall prey to envy and racism, and that God's justice is both swift and fair. The punishment of Miriam, turning her skin white as snow, is a stark reminder of the consequences of internal corruption and the need for repentance and healing. This story emphasizes the unique role of Moses as God's chosen leader, reaffirming his authority and the special relationship he had with God. It highlights the significance of respecting divine choices and the perils of questioning God's wisdom. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey. If you found this video enlightening, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insights into biblical stories and their hidden meanings.